I was thinking, people say this all the time, so now what? I've been doing what I've been doing for, decades. It's what I have to do. Now, when do I get a chance to do what I want to do?
Well, and that's what we do here at Omega Wealth Private Capital. We help you get from the I have to's to, wow, I get to.
I'm Brad Johansson.
And I'm Joe Wilson, and welcome to another edition of Wise Money.
So glad you are with us on Wise Money. Brad Johansson with the legend, Joe Wilson III, Omega
Big
Wealth
Joe,
Private
my man.
Capital. What's the buzz? Tell me what's a-happening.
What's a-happening? Life, liberty,
No.
pursuit
See,
of happiness.
gosh, you're a music guy. I thought immediately when I said that you would know where that came from.
I have no idea.
What's the buzz? Tell me what's a-happening.
I have no idea.
Soundtrack, Jesus Christ Superstar.
You're forgetting I'm only 50.
And I'm old. Fair enough.
All right, I got a question.
Hold it. You're telling me you haven't heard the soundtrack of Jesus Christ Superstar? Yes,
No,
you have.
I haven't.
I don't believe you.
Well, believe it or not, I have not.
Okay.
Here's a question for you.
And your
If you get to the golf,
If
the golf course,
if I get to the golf course,
we get there early, and we're going to have a sandwich. Had someone ask me questions like this yesterday. They were asking me if when I go to a gas station, what I get. I thought it was interesting. So I'm going to ask you a question because we're going to talk about this today.
Okay, there's
If you get to the golf course, you're going to have lunch, you're going to have a sandwich. What kind of sandwich do you get?
I'll probably get a club, like a turkey. I want a turkey sandwich.
I've been with you when you do that.
Yeah, I
I'm
do.
a BLT guy. Big old thick bacon, tomato.
I mean, bacon is good on everything.
Why are we talking about sandwiches?
That's what I'd like to know.
I'm going to tell you right now because it's my generation. You're Gen X, all right? I know a lot of us are getting older, present company included. We are really the sandwich generation. And here's what I want you to understand. If you're watching this and you are identifying with that Gen X, we have got a unique problem that isn't everyone's problem, but it is our generation's problem, and that is being the sandwich generation. What do I mean by that? We're having parents that are living longer.
Yeah.
They're older. How old is Mama Johansson?
Mama Johansson, 97 years old.
Just had a crazy accident, and thank God she came out okay.
Remember I told you she wasn't going to drive? Yeah, she was still driving. She got in an accident and luckily came out okay. She's not driving anymore.
Yeah. We're seeing that. Our parents are older. Mama Connie's fighting through some things and not doing great. Papa Dose is doing awesome. We actually had our Flourish event not too long ago. You then have the kids.
You got kids.
I do. One in med school.
Ooh.
Thank God she has the brains of her mama. And Joe's getting ready to start his master's at Ohio State, plays golf for them. But there's a lot of money in the old Wilson household there, right? Here's what I find interesting. I want you to understand this, and I think we're going to address some things because I feel your pain. Normally, we're talking about folks maybe a little bit older, getting ready to retire. But Gen X, we're there. We are that next wave. And I think it's important to understand a few things that 56%, Bradley, of Gen Xers are financially supporting either their parents or their kids.
Wow.
56%. This is not normal. Number one, you got to realize this is not normal for every generation, but it's our normal right now.
Yeah.
59%, Bradley, have reduced or stopped retirement savings because of a family situation. I know some of you right now are watching and going, I want to save more. And the worry is retirement, how am I going to get there? It seems so far away because there's just so many dollars a month. We're going to talk about some things with you today. I find this fascinating in reality that 70% of my generation, Gen X, says this sandwich situation has significantly impacted and impeded their retirement plans.
7 out of every 10.
That's quite a few. So I think the problem is real. And I would say Wall Street's ignoring this. One of the reasons why, baby boomers, they're the huge buck of the market, right? It's just a huge bucket of the market. But as that's aging, $85 trillion is set over the next 10 to 15 years to transfer from that baby boomer generation to Generation X. But yet you've got Gen X working as much as they can, supporting the kids that are coming home and having a hard time finding housing, having a hard time finding a job that's going to pay with where inflation has been over the last 5 years. And some are even taking care of a mom or a dad. And it's just a unique situation that really generations haven't impacted. We have to talk about it and address it.
It's why we talk about everything in this book. Joe has put this book together, The 5 Agreements to Be and Stay Retirement Ready, given out more than 3,000 copies over the last year. And you still want more. So we'll give you more. Scan the QR code. This is your book. It should be your retirement. With the answers to the questions that you have, are you one of those in the sandwich generation? Or do you relate to that and have an understanding of why this is so necessary? Scan the QR code. We'll send the book out to you. Why is this so impactful in getting the numbers right when you want to retire the way that you want to retire? Scan the QR code. We'll be right back. You like puzzles? We do at Omega Wealth. The retirement puzzle put together. Next on Wise Money.
Do you remember the fun game of Battleship where your friend calls out B12, miss, and then B13, hit, you sank my battleship. Battleship's a fun game, but in retirement, that kind of guessing can absolutely sink you. Too many people are treating retirement like just calling out random coordinates, hoping that they hit something. But what about the defense? Could you just be 1 or 2 coordinates away from your battleship, your retirement being sunk? You cannot retire on luck. You have to retire on income. And I cover that in my book, The 5 Agreements to Be and Stay Retirement Ready. You need to develop a plan that provides an income engine, a place for you to get money when things are not always going good in the markets. Retirement isn't about guessing your way across the board. It's about creating an income engine that pays you constantly, even when life fires back. Don't play Battleship with your future. Make sure your plan is able to withstand those dreaded hits. It's only going to take 3 minutes. I want you to go to owquiz.com. It's going to give you an idea of where you're standing right now on your battleship journey so you can be and stay retirement ready.
Sammy the Duck. He's cute, but he's greedy. He always wants your tax money. Every April 15th, you pay it, you think you're done, and he keeps coming back. Every year you pay, and Sammy still wants more. But in retirement, you're supposed to pay less taxes, right? I'm done with this? No. Sammy still wants more. At Omega Wealth Private Capital, we have tax strategies to help you pay less taxes. Keep more of it in your pocket. And instead of going this way, Sammy goes this way, and you're done paying taxes. Wouldn't you like to have more money in your pocket? Give us a call at Omega Wealth Private Capital. Let us do some tax strategies of our own without Sammy in it. So glad you're with us on Wise Money. Brad Johansson, Joe Wilson III. We're talking sandwich generation and why it is so significant. You and I have nurturers in our families.
Yeah.
Ange is a nurturer. Colleen's a nurturer. And it is always helping someone else first. But the cost of helping everyone else is your financial future.
Yeah.
Why is that so significant when we're talking about this generation now helping both their parents and their kids?
Well, because it's a two-way drain on the money, right? You've got money that's really a three-way. You're helping yourself and you're surviving your household and your savings and your retirement. We're going to talk about some options you have. But you're also trying to maybe help the future generation of your kids.
No question. And
you're helping mom and dad. And so the dollar can only go so far. But here's what I find interesting. Number one, you have to own it. You have to realize if you find that you are in that 70%, or you find that, man, I feel behind, you're just helping everybody else. Number one, it's not too late. There's a lot of time on the clock for us. So number one, you have to own it and stop financial drift. Maybe you're younger and you're seeing this. Stop financial drift. Maybe you are getting ready to retire. You just retired and you're retiring on hope. Stop financial drift. Get a plan. We start why I wrote chapter 1. You need to understand this even if you are in your 50s and mid-50s and getting ready to hit 60. Understand where you're going to get your income. And your income in retirement is the most important thing for you. Why? It's the only way you can stay retired. So there has to be a plan that says, I'm going to put this away for growth because I've got time left. But I'm going to start segmenting some of this stuff up because that's where I'm going to get my future income in the next 12 to 15 years because it's so important. Because I think many of you are probably feeling, Brad, we hear this a lot of times from our peers, I feel a little bit behind. It's amazing to me how many multimillionaires we sit with that felt that way at 50, 52, 53, and they're sitting in front of us with multiple millions of dollars. Why? It's not too late, but they recognized, boy, life's been hard. We've had to do some things. It's time to stop financial drift. You have to own it. Ownership's number one.
When you go to the income and say that this is what you have, and people have to understand, we go back to the idea that this, for many people, Joe, is a brand new idea of income. I thought I was supposed to get to a number. The financial advisor that I've been with is saying, get to a number. Let's accumulate, let's grow, let's get there. And then you lead off with, what's your income engine? Excuse me? What do you mean, what's my income engine? Because you're saying it's not about the number, because you always say it's not what you have, it's what you get to keep. Why do we have to get to an income plan in this sandwich generation where the what ifs now happen of our parents and our children, and we're building the sandwich, and if I'm taking care of everybody else, how do I create an income plan within that gap that makes sure that I'm going to be okay?
Well, BJ, it's no different than how we do it with every client that comes in. Every dollar needs a job. When you are saving, there has to be growth money. If you're 15 years out, that's a long time. But I think if you're starting to get inside that 10-year window, you need to realize, hey, maybe 9 or 8 of these dollars need to be growth, and 1 or 2 of these dollars need to be focused on where I'm going to start getting my income and building my income engine. And you have to start segmenting every dollar and give it a job to do. Why? Because if you don't, then you don't have the greatest asset in wealth accumulation, and that is time in the market. So even if you're starting saying, man, I don't have as much as I thought I had, recognize it, own it. And then I think you have to see your situation as it is and start to look at, okay, if I am going to retire at this date, what do I do with Social Security? How does that work in? Where am I going to get my money to cover my necessities? I need to have money tax efficiently growing, because I don't think you want to be sitting here right now saying, I feel a little bit behind, and I'm just going to keep saving in my 401k and hope taxes are going to be lower. Nay, nay. We are $40 trillion in debt.
Yeah, right there.
It's not going to get better. We have to understand, we have to own this, just like if you are getting ready to retire next year, or maybe you're watching this and you are. Where are you going to get your first dollars? Where are you going to get it most tax efficiently? What accounts are you going to start? You can feel like you're behind, but take action on that right now. Gen Xers, hear me. I'm one of you. I'm talking to you plain. And those are the things you can do to get in a better position. This book works for you as well, because you still have runway to make some shifts.
The cost of helping everyone else is your future. How are you going to figure all of that in? I want to give you a spot. If you're watching in Indianapolis, if you're watching in Kentucky, if you're watching in Ohio, I want you to have a number to call. So call the number on your screen, because a lot of you have gotten this book and now have become regular watchers. Grateful for that. Your time is important. Hoping that you learn something else. Hoping that maybe on the next show it will prompt you to say, I'm ready now. Are you ready now? At what point do you feel like you need to take care of yourself? How about now? Make the call. Let's put together a complimentary financial plan that is yours and yours alone. It is your retirement readiness plan. It's your time. Take time for yourself. We'll be right back.
My grandfather was an old Texan cowboy oil man. I remember him telling me, you can only worry about the things you can control. Never worry about the things you can't control. The election's going to happen every 4 years. Every 2 years, we're going to vote different folks in on the Hill. We call it legislative risk. It's the beautiful structure of our government. We vote folks in and out, and every 2 years, the power on the Hill shifts. So change is constant. It's the certainty of uncertainty. You have to recognize that, because we're planning it over 30 years. So how do we as advisors take that uncertainty and create a plan? And the fact is, we have to control what we can control. You can't control how much risk you're taking. Do you have hidden risk inside the portfolio? What about the tax debt? What kind of income plan do you have structured that's going to go along with Social Security, or what if Social Security isn't there in the form that it is currently? If we can control those measures, it doesn't really matter who's in the White House or who's on the Hill. Because now when it comes to the financial planning of your life, we've taken that variable out because we have something that is certain, because it is a very uncertain world. Control what you can control. What is the number one fear around those entering retirement and just having retired? What is it?
The number one fear is that you're going to run out of money before you die.
We have a window right now where there's some amazing tools where we can disinherit the IRS from that pot of money. So many times you've been saving and doing things, and that might be the right tool for that season. So when's the best time to prepare for rain? When it's sunny out.
When it's sunny.
You don't wait till it's storming. 2001, 2002, 2020. We go back through here the last couple of decades. There's going to be bad times in the market. Well, where do you go to get your income? Your retirement cannot sustain that. The only way those work out is if you retire and there are several good years right after you walk out of the office. You have to control what you can control, and you cannot control what happens in the markets. You get one shot at retirement, and if you're missing one of these agreements, that can crush you. You cannot go into distribution years with the same tools and hope. That's not a plan.
So glad you're with us. Brad Johansson, Wise Money with Joe Wilson III, Omega Wealth Private Capital. Grateful for your time. You and I, dude, we are on airplanes. I mean, we're traveling a lot.
I leave here and I'm flying to Vegas to speak at a financial advisor conference and talk to a bunch of financial advisors, and we are constantly on the road.
So when we do what we do, I'm calling myself out. Maybe you're not. I get numb to what's being said. I'll get on. First, I'm in an exit row.
Are you one of those headphones people? Do you like walk in with the big headphones?
No, I do not.
Thank God.
No, I don't. I don't even have do you call them earpods? I don't. I digress.
Where are you going?
I go to an exit row. So first I have to get exit row instructions.
Yeah, because you're like a little tall.
But then everybody will get instructions on if something happens.
Yeah.
Oxygen
Talk
mask
about
will
this.
drop.
Yes, sir.
What if we're numb to it? Do you know what you're supposed to do?
Put it on yourself before you put it on your kids.
First. I want to do this for financial. When we're talking about the sandwich generation, parents, kids, when I say the cost of helping everyone is your future, how financially are we supposed to put our oxygen mask on first?
Yeah, well, one, we have to own it. And I think we have to realize that to every one of us, we have opportunities. And I don't think you have to solve your retirement concerns in one day. Hear me right now. The power of compounding and the power of doing a little bit consistently, it is that over time that becomes great. Well, Joe, I don't have that much time. Man, if you're in your 50s, even early 60s, you have time. Joe, we have to look at the average 65-year-old has a 25-year projection of retirement.
Takes what?
65, 25.
To 90?
We've got some time. So when you look at that, you have to realize that just a little bit here and just a little bit there. Now let me talk to you. Here's some nice things. If you've got a 401k, 403b,
yeah,
maybe you're a government worker, 457. Once you hit the age of 50, you can do what's called a catch-up contribution.
Yeah.
I love that they call it that. If you're a little behind, I'm going to do a little catch-up. Here's what's great. For 26, standard is about $24,500. I hope you have a Roth 401k. That we talk about that in another show. But you can get a catch-up of almost $8,000. All of a sudden now we've jumped up to $32,000. Now that's a lot of cheddar, and you might not be able to put that much in. But if you could start segmenting a little bit and saying, I'm going to put this oxygen mask on myself, because there's going to come a time, unfortunately, when the kids are going to get a job, they're going to leave, and mom and dad aren't going to be around. It's going to be you and your sweetie, you and your husband, and you all have to make sure you can be and stay retirement ready. And I know this isn't always popular, but number one, I don't want you to think that the hope is gone. You can start by just doing these little things. Yeah. Maybe you're a little bit older. This is your bracket, big boy. From 60 to 63, you can make a super catch-up contribution. That's $11,250. That's a whopping $35,000. I've seen people that maybe take a little part-time job, do a little bit more. Kids are gone. I need to catch up a little bit more. Listen, what you are doing right now, every day, it starts to add up. And you're either going to do something with it or you're going to let it pass. I hope that you're watching this, not by accident, that something kind of triggers you a little bit and says, hey, I've got time. Hey, I can do some things, but you can only do it if you do it right. So I want you to call. It's a quick call to our team. Have a quick conversation in Zoom and say, hey, here's some things I'm worried about. Here's some options, and let's set up a time, see if we can help you out, because you have moments, and they come and they go. And we have time to do things right now, and most Gen X, it's not their fault. It's not our fault. Hear me. My generation, I get it. We are battling something that many other generations never have, and we can survive it. We have to take action.
Make the call right now. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. We'll be right back.
Growing up, I loved playing the game of Monopoly with my friends and family. We would spend all night, sometimes on weekends, just playing that fun game. But the reality is retirement is very different than the game of Monopoly. You shouldn't be just going around every month collecting your $200 and hoping that you don't land on a property with a monster hotel or house on it. What about the dreaded chance card? You pick that thing out and it completely could wipe you out of the game. Your retirement needs a concrete written income plan. You need an income engine. Don't leave your future to chance. Find out if your retirement is just set up for a game of Monopoly, or do you have a written plan that'll help you be retirement ready? I want you to go to owquiz.com. It'll take you about 3 minutes, and it's going to put you on a path so you can be and stay retirement ready.
Glad you're with us on Wise Money. Brad Johansson, Joe Wilson III, Omega Wealth Private Capital. We're talking about that sandwich generation, taking care of the kids, taking care of the parents in the whole thing. I've got a list of 5 things that I want to hit. I want to start with ownership. Why?
We got to own it. As we talked about, you have to take control. You are where you are. The situation, if you're finding yourself part of that 70% that's kind of significantly impacted, maybe you're part of that 56% that is financially supporting 2 generations, it's okay. It is what it is. Own it. To own it, see it. See where you're at. I think you need clarity. I think you need to get just with someone like our amazing all-star team that we work with that'll tell you exactly where you are and the truth. It's okay to face the truth. Stop financial drift.
It's essential to face the truth. Ownership, clarity. The third one you go to is
what we've done. Our generation has this.
Discipline.
We have the ability to be disciplined. How do I know that? If you're watching this and you are in that sandwich situation, you've already made sacrifices for your family. So let's just make a little bit more. Let's be disciplined to the plan. But if you don't have a plan, you got to know where you're going. You got to know where you're heading. Let's be disciplined to that. I think you need boundaries. I think you need boundaries in your relationship with your spouse. I think you need boundaries with your kids and say, we can do this, but we can't do this. As much as we want to, we can't. Here's why. We've got to put our oxygen mask on first. This is just stuff that we must do because we're facing what no other generation has faced before, and it's causing some issues. And I think finally, you have to be committed to growth. Realize that you are not stuck. That's a hard place sometimes. Recency bias. We talk a lot about that, right? How many times have we seen folks, they come in and they've got $500,000, $800,000 in cash in their retirement accounts? Man, is this something recent? Did you feel the market? No, I've been in cash since the market dipped back in 08, 09. No, you got to realize we have to grow. We can't be stuck. We've got to propel forward. Part of that is making sure we tell every dollar what it needs to do. We say, you're going to get some income. You're going to be my growth money. You're going to be some of my legacy. And if you start doing that now, I promise you, time in the market, time working in these strategies, allocating some time together, putting together a plan, it will make a difference.
What's my awkward phrase that you say, would you please stop saying? PP? Purpose determines placement. Every job from every dollar. We have to, look, and you'll know the client that I'm speaking of, that I spoke to, who called in and said, I need X. Why? I just need it. Because a purchase had already been made without the discipline of understanding where's it coming from.
Yeah.
And then there was a great conversation to say, do you realize why you have this? Why we sat down and do this? And sometimes, Joe, in this sandwich generation of putting on our oxygen mask first, we forget why we did what we did because we want to do what we want to do.
Yeah.
The discipline becomes important.
Discipline. It's recognizing where you are in the discipline. I think this is so important. You have to see your situation as it is. See it as it is. Face it. I'm ahead. Great. Does that mean you can retire a little bit earlier? I'm behind. Face it. Can we dedicate just a little bit more to some catch up? You know, $3,000, $4,000 is a lot to some folks, but some of y'all spend that in coffee. Let's just recognize it. How much is that impacting us? I think if we see it what it is, and then we sit down with a plan and go, if this is my necessities, this is what I have to have with mortgage insurance, this is what I have to pay my taxes, my medicine, my food, my basic essentials, and this is where my income is projected to be when I retire, what's the gap? Adjusted for inflation after taxes? Face it. The only way you can face it is to get a plan.
Yeah, and it's all in the book. And sometimes I've seen this. We're talking about income, volatility within the market, and how do you need to change that to create asset preservation that's going to last? How do we deal with our tax strategy? And how do we leave a legacy that we want to leave so the money goes where we want it to go? With the 5 agreements, scan the QR code, we'll send it out to you for free. We had an email recently that said, this is the easiest read I've ever had, and I've dealt with financial advisors for a long time. Do something easy. Do something for yourself. Scan the QR code, Joe.
I'm going to make it as plain as I can. We get one shot at this life. We get one shot at retirement. You have been dedicated. Many of you have worked 30, 40 years to be where you are right now. Carpe diem. It's a wonderful time. There's a lot going in our favor. There's a lot going in your favor. You have the ability right now to take control of something maybe you haven't faced by just making a simple phone call, just scanning that QR code and setting up a time for a clarity visit, getting an idea of where I am and what steps do I need to do to live the life I've always wanted. You deserve it. Put that oxygen mask on first. Thanks for watching Wise Money. I'm going to see you same bat time and channel next week.
From tax time bombs to Social Security insecurities, strategic investments that help clean up your junk drawer and keep your income engine running smoothly at Omega Wealth Private Capital. We're fiduciary, independent, holistic wealth advisors, and we're here to turn your have-tos into get-tos. So, would you like your retirement dreams to move from good to great? Give us a call. It's what we do because we really want to. Thanks so much for joining us. Hope to see you in the office. Until then, I'm Brad Johansson. We'll see you next time on Wise Money.